Welcome. I'm Christy. Let's take a breath. All right, so we're into throat chakra month. And the typical prescriptions for asana, for movement, with balancing that energy in the throat, is trying to put this pressure on the base of the throat or the base of the neck. But ironically, I've been having neck trouble. So it made me think about how am I gonna, so I'm having a lot of trouble moving my head, some days better than others. For me, I think that's really emanating from my back. I may have said that last week. A lot of it is anyway. But what it made me really think about in trying to balance is energy, because I think for us, especially in modern day life, yoga is so much about releasing stress. A lot of how we're balancing our energy is letting go of stress. So for me, all of these sinus allergies, sinus infection issues I've been having for the last couple months, which definitely have something to do with my how my neck is, has been very stressful. And I know a lot of you are returning back to the office now in September. I know a lot of companies, and I believe Philly Insurance too, has had this push back into the office. So I'm thinking that part of how we balance out this throat chakra energy as well as all the other chakras is just to unwind a bit, to allow our necks to relax. And so much of our work lives these days are, that there's just that stress on our necks anyway. So today we're going to focus on trying to get the neck to relax. Take a breath. All right, I want to start. So we're doing restorative. I've got 2 bed pillows. Anything else you want to gather up, a couple of pillows, yoga blankets, anything at all that you have handy, just to help cushion the body a bit and create some shapes where we can relax into. But let's start with a standing forward fold. So we're just going to gently make our way up. Oh yeah, easier said than done today. Everything's been tight for me this week. We're going to try to make our way up into a standing fold. So I'm just on my blanket, not a lot of tack to it, so I'm not going to take my feet too wide, but take your feet a little bit wide. If you want props underneath your hands, so if your legs are tight, maybe some props under your hands to support you. So here we're going to try to let the head hang down gently. So I can feel my whole spine kind of crackling a little bit, lengthening. Take a couple of breaths. You don't have to be as deep as I am. You can have, arms on your legs. But we're going to try to get this whole spine to lengthen out and relax a little bit. Top of your head dropping down. Just see if you can relax that neck a bit. A couple more breaths. And then let's try to make our way up, all the way up, maybe very slowly. I don't know why I am so uber creaky this week. All of my muscles are tighter than normal. All right, so again, I'm going to try not to slide here. We're just going to do another standing pose. So we're just going to do a little extended side angle. Feet wide, both feet turning to your right, nice and easy. So if you're not going so far, oh, crack there. Right hand on your thigh. If you're going a little lower, lower arm on the thigh. So if I put all of my weight on this front foot, I can let that back foot slide out a little bit, but now it keeps going. It's going a little too far here. So be careful if you're slipping and sliding. I'm gonna hop that one back in. And we're just gonna try to get this little, oh yeah, that was just such an awkward pose there for me. All right, let's take it to the other side. We're just gonna do our best. So feet turning to the left. Bend in your left knee. That left hand or maybe I'm going to stay on the hand here. Left hand or left lower arm on your thigh. Try to lengthen out from your hips. Big full breath. And then we're going to come back into a wide leg fold. This time we're going to try to do hands behind us. So just get that reasonable distance where you're not sliding. Fold in. Again, letting your neck, your spine lengthen out. And then if it works for you, bring hands to your low back, interlace fingers, and just start to pull hands away from the body. So I get another little pop there in my spine, a good pop, just by bringing my hands up. So you let the spine lengthen a little bit more. And let your hands come down. And we're gonna make our way down onto the floor. So walk your feet in. Let's come into, let's try to do a little child's pose. You can do a regular child's pose, or you can do one with props. We'll try not to hold this one too long. I think child's pose is pretty tough for most people to stay in for very long, even with props. But if you have a couple pillows you're going to use, just bring them on in. So if knees go out wide and you're just trying to squish those pillows right between the knees, stack them up. And then you're just folding over. So if you have glasses, maybe glasses come off. So it's a little bit different with props than it is without, because now we don't have this space. So if you're dropping your forehead down here, maybe bring your arms so you're creating a little space to breathe. Resting your forehead on your arms. You can also turn your head to the side, but again, my neck's in this, kind of delicate place. So I don't want to turn it too far here. Big breath. Let your neck relax here. All right, and then we're going to flip over onto our backs. So coming up nice and gently. And we're going to work on releasing tension out of the hips. So everything is connected. If we're going to try to relax our necks and our shoulders, hips are often a really tight, uncomfortable place. So by stretching out shoulders, we're gonna let the rest of the body, we're gonna help the rest of the body relax. Okay, coming out onto your back, I'm gonna put my meditation cushion under my head just because that makes me comfortable. So again, how's your neck gonna relax here? I like these little buckwheat filled pillows because you can kind of smush them around and have them shape to your head and your neck. So I've got this nice little support now under my neck. So you can certainly use a pillow, a blanket, something underneath your neck. We're gonna do a reclining pigeon. So we're not gonna hold it, we're not gonna hold on to the leg. Oh, I forgot, I need to time. All right, I gotta figure out a timer here. All right. So we're gonna bring right ankle on top of left thigh, and then we're gonna let the legs drop over. So I'm gonna bring a pillow underneath that foot and leg, just so it's a little bit more relaxing. I will often take this left hand and just kind of hold my foot in place a little bit. Right arm can extend out. So if you have another prop, so I have the second pillow or third pillow, because I've got one under my head. You can put it under your back hip. So it just kind of helps to create, really I think of it like a taco shell. Just kind of creates this little support on either side, clamshell. We're gonna breathe. All right, I'm gonna try to hook my timer up. Feel your breath flowing in and out. Make any little adjustments that you need to be more comfortable. So again, if your head's not quite right, your legs aren't quite right, let them shift around. Maybe it's your jaw, so opening the jaw wide might be helpful. And we're going to come back to this image of the blue in the throat. So just visualizing the color blue at that throat chakra. So again, the chakras emanate from the spine. So this one's from the base of the neck, and they project forward. So you can imagine like this blue just flowing out of your neck, projecting forward into the throat. And the throat is about purification. So that we're getting the idea that when the throat chakra is balanced, we're getting into these sort of pure thoughts, pure vibrations. And that good, and these concepts of good and bad begin to fall away. And we just see everything as part of the whole. Try to feel each breath flowing through the throat. And imagine that energy is being purified as it flows through the throat. So now we're releasing out stress with our exhales. So that energy is being purified through the throat as it leaves the body. And this is just all symbolic. But it can be helpful to imagine that. And particularly if you're having trouble like I am with the throat, so maybe, something's going on like with you, like allergies like I'm having, or, sore throat or something that's going on. Or if it's your neck that's tight, stiff, painful. Maybe really focus on that spot. And I'm trying to feel your neck in particular relax. And feel that blue becoming more vibrant with each breath. Feeling that purifying energy in the throat. Alright, we're going to release this side. So you can just kind of gently let your legs sort of slide down, let your legs straighten out a bit. Maybe shake your legs, wiggle your toes. If you feel then like you need to lengthen your low back, you can bring your feet onto the floor, push your low back down. Sometimes I just do that and kind of sway my knees a little bit from side to side. And if it feels good to bring your knees in, knees just come on in, rock from side to side a little. Even as we're letting go, as we're getting a little bit deeper into relaxation, there may be these deeper breaths that arise. So we're kind of getting into these deeper states. We're releasing out a little more stress. All right, we're going to take it over to the other side. So you can shift your pillows. We're going to bring left ankle on top of right thigh. We're going to let those legs drop over to the side. So I'm going to put my pillow here underneath my leg and my foot. All right, so this one I'm going to bring, again, under that back hip. So it'll kind of help hold my legs in place a little bit better. And then come back and settle in. So let's come back to that blue in the throat. Feeling that blue become more vibrant with each breath. Letting the whole body soften with each exhale. And allow that purifying energy to flow any place. So you can think about it as healing energy. Allow it to just move to any part of the body where you feel like you need it. And so where you need that healing, maybe more kind of your spirit, maybe your energy. Alright, we're gonna release this side. So again, maybe just let your legs kind of slide down. Big full breath. And so what feels good this time? I think I had myself better supported there, so my back's feeling pretty good this time. So if you're good with legs out straight, stretch your arms past your head. And let's try to do a happy baby. We're gonna pull those knees in. And then let your knees just move away from one another. You're gonna reach for your feet. So this is where having something under your head helps too. It's a little easier to reach your feet. So soles of the feet together, observe how that is. And then if it's feeling okay to separate them, you're gonna let those feet pull apart. Soles pointing up. Big full breath. And let your feet come down. Let your legs lengthen out again for a moment. Maybe bounce knees up and down. Wiggle toes. All right, I think we're going to do a back bend here. Changing my mind about where we're going. Okay, feet are going to walk up onto the floor. And we're going to try to gently make our way up into a seated position so we can arrange our props. All right, I'm going to try. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple options here. Sorry, thinking. So if you want a gentler back bend, if you can prop up a couple of pillows, so you can do one sort of across and then the other one resting on it. So I'm just going to keep my meditation cushion there and do that. So if you want something that's a little bit gentler, you can create like this little slope for yourself. And then you want kind of the bottom of that pillow to go into your low back. I'm thinking I might even need another one under my head. So again, you want to make sure your neck is supported. So you can do a little back bend. Oh, that feels good. It's so soft and comfy. So you can do just like a little, it's not that much of a back bend, but it's a little bit of a chest opener, a little bit of a shoulder opener, and a little slight back bend. Your legs can be straight, your feet can be on the floor, knees resting together. Or if you want to do a little cobbler's pose, and then soles of the feet can be together. You can wedge more props underneath your legs, and you can change leg positioning at any time. So that's a pretty gentle back bend. So again, if you're really just wiped out, you're just feeling really stressed, that can be a really nice way to go. If you want to do a little deeper, so again, it's not going to be super intense with using pillows. We're going to do pillows end to end. And then shoulder blades are going to come off the top edge. So really the bottom of your shoulder blades is going to kind of rest right on that, right past that edge. So line your pillows up, and then you're going to sit. And then you're going to come back. So we're going to try to bring shoulder blades onto the floor. I'm going to scooch back a little bit more. And then my shirt's going to choke me. All right, so now my shoulder blades are coming down onto the floor. So I'm getting this little pressure up right below my shoulder blades. So it's going to really help to open up. That for me is like a really good spot to help just open up the spine. And so that for me, that whole like low shoulder blade behind the shoulder blade area is a big part of where my neck troubles are emanating from. So all that tight connective tissue in there is pulling on things in a bad way, which is making my neck be not in a good spot. So this one can be really helpful, I think, for neck trouble. All right, so if you got these two pillows lined up, then you can just straighten your legs out. If you'd rather have your feet on the floor, that's fine too. Or you could even try to do a cobbler's pose here. Big full breath. And then we're trying to just sink down into the pose. If you have your shoulders off the edge of the pillow onto the floor, then you may feel this little slightly more traditional, effect or thought about opening up the throat chakra. You may feel this little bit of pressure on the base of your throat, and depending on your neck, So my neck's not touching the floor. You may feel it a little bit in the back of your neck as well. Feel that full length of your inhale and exhale. Feeling that flow, how the inhales flow into the exhales flow into inhales. Just this continuous movement, just feeling that sensation of the breath, either sensation of it going back and forth or just going round and round. How does that feel to you? And then start to silently hear that So Hum mantra. Imagine that your inhales sound like so, S-O. It's just silently in your head because you want it to be this kind of continuous sound in your head with the breath. So as you exhale, imagine the word hum, H-U-M, the sound hum. Hearing so as you inhale. So it's following that full length. So it's a long so. So, and you're just going back and forth with each inhale and exhale. So, they're just flowing together. Alright, so we are going to just try to gently move off of the props. If you're in this position with your shoulders off the top of the pillow, you might be able to just bring your feet onto the floor and pick your hips up and then just slide that pillow out and come back down, let your back be flat. If you were more in that inclined, reclined, the angled position, again, just try to gently move your props out of the way and come flat onto your back. Let your head turn a little bit to one side. If you're having neck and back trouble, I really like doing, we're gonna let the head turn to the other side. I often like being on the back. I feel like for the neck too, we're taking that weight of the head off of the neck, so you're able to just turn without the weight. It may still be intense and difficult. Alright, maybe just back and forth a couple of times. Couple of breaths. And then we're gonna try to make our way up. It's harder and harder as we go. All right, coming on up. So I'm gonna give you a couple of options here. All right, if you want to do a butterfly pose, and you can shift in and out of these poses if it becomes too long to be in one or the other. So butterfly or a wide leg fold. If you're doing butterfly, you've got the soles of your feet together, you're gonna push your feet forward. So this one we're letting, we're rounding, we're letting the head hang down. So you're gonna stretch out the whole spine, it's gonna get into your hips and your legs. And so there is an emphasis here on the neck. You're trying to really let your head drop down. But again, tender neck, that might be too long to let your head hang. So if you have blocks, they're pretty helpful. If you're low enough, you can stack up a couple of blocks too. If you're too tight to get that low, and then you may not be able to reach blocks. So then you just have to watch, how's your neck? Are you gonna pick your head up at some point? Other option is to do a wide leg fold. So again, if one gets too intense, feel free to shift into the other. Obviously, it's a video. You could move on to another pose. So if you're gonna do wide legs, it can be really nice to have pillows. Oh, even with okay, I'll come back to butterfly in a second here. So you can just lean forward, and you can let your head rest on your arms or wherever you're comfortable. So if you're doing butterfly, you can also do some pillows on top of the legs. And so that way you might be able to get your head down. That's true. All right, I can't always think of everything at the same time. All right, imperfection. Okay, so find your pose. Yeah, I'm feeling like I could stay in butterfly now with my pillows. We're gonna soften in. And just try to come back to that breath and the so hum mantra. Hearing so as you inhale and hum as you exhale. Softening on your exhales. slowly come back up. Take a breath. Straighten your legs out, or bring them together if you did wide legs. Bring them, shake them out. All right, we're gonna do a twist. So I'm gonna give you a couple options with your twist here. One way to do your twist is to stack up your props. And you have them alongside your hip. We're gonna bend the knees. So you can do this this way or on your back, so a twist. If you're doing this kind of sort of a seated, I don't really know what you call this position, or a seated reclining, a half reclining twist. You're gonna try to turn your torso, the front of your torso, towards the pillows, and then you're folding it over the pillows. Now, I can never turn my neck all the way. Some people can turn their head to that opposite direction and be perfectly comfortable. That has never been true for me. So you can come in like this, just arms on either side of the pillow. So I don't love this way. But if you do, you can stay here. If you're gonna come onto your back, again, you might want something under your head. You're gonna come on to your back. So feet on the floor. So a couple different ways to do this. So one is with, all right, I'm gonna do left leg straight and bring my right leg over. So you can do left leg straight. You can stack up whatever you want, however high you want this to be. And then just bring this right leg over. And you wanna find that spot where it feels like your leg is supported. I'm not sure if that's too high. I think I'm gonna do this a little bit lower, and then I'm gonna push it down so my ankle's on top. So you can do it this way also, just with that one leg straight, maybe a little prop underneath your back arm. Or you can do it with both knees bent, and you can let them drop over onto a pillow. And then again, just like we did with the reclining pigeon, maybe wedge another pillow behind your back. So if you're really just needing that rest, this is a nice, gentler way. For me, this is feeling perfect. It's not as much of a stretch, but I can still feel the energy in my body shifting. Like, this is what I really need in this moment. All right, so hopefully you found your spot. I know that was a lot. But again, we're always trying to find, where's the best spot for me right here in this moment. You could use the So Hum mantra again. Or you can count each exhale backward. You can count down from 108. Gently change sides. So if you're doing the one from a seated position, you're just going to come back up, flip your legs, put your pillows to the other side, so it's on the outside of your hip. We're going to turn your belly towards the pillows and fold in. If you're on your back, it should be simple enough too, to just change sides. So I've got a pillow on either side. I'm just going to shift my legs over. If you're doing the one leg straight, then do your right leg straight. Bring your left leg over. So each side might shift a little bit. And then breathe, letting go into your pose. We're going to gently release this side. Give it a little stretch, and we're just gonna slide it right into Shavasana. So if you're on your back, just do a little shift. If you're in that sort of seated position, just ease your way back. You can use one pillow or blanket or whatever you have underneath your knees. You can do one under your head. If you have a third prop, could be a blanket, could be a pillow, if it's comfortable. Just put a little weight over your abdomen. It'd be kind of cozy just to have a little something covering you. Find your comfortable spot. All right, we're gonna do a Brahmari breath here. So tip of your tongue is gonna touch the top teeth where the gums meet the teeth. So just in the back of the top teeth where the gums hit the teeth, the gum line, tip of the tongue goes there. Big full inhale, then we're gonna buzz. And then just let yourself settle in. You could do that 2 more times if you like. We're going to be still just for a few minutes. Well, we have been still, so still in Shavasana. Take a deeper breath. Observe how you're feeling. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can stretch your arms overhead. Bend your knees and roll to one side. And gently make your way up. Sitting up nice and tall, let your shoulders relax down. Hands at the heart. Nice full inhale. Exhale it out. Thank you for being here and sharing in this practice. Namaste.